husband was in a conversation this morning, and it's very serious about what's going on in the world today. Spent 28 years in the military, in the army, and a lot of things happen. And this is his view about what he thinks going on today with this president or with the people, whatever the case may be. And would like for him to share his story and what he feel about the situation.
Share my story. Wow, where do I start? Well, first of all, we took a chance on putting a guy in office actually he took the office. And we put a guy in there. Nobody saw what was coming. During the time when he was running for president, I had conversation with people and I was talking to him about it, and I said, this guy's a modern day Hitler. People got to see it for what it really is. But everybody seemed to think that we had 8 years of a president who was presidential, who was understanding, who could deal with, he had foreign policy that he could deal with, but nobody appreciated that. They looked at him as, oh, we don't need that guy. But then this clown comes along, and everybody jumps on the bandwagon like he's the savior. You got to understand. Look, totalitarianism starts with people like this. They start small and they work it up. He's trying to censor the Justice Department in this country. He's trying to censor the political process in this country. He's doing everything he can do to the news media. I mean, he comes out each and every day and tell you that if you believe him, that the news media is fake, and it's not. How can it be fake if he uses the media to get his point across? He tells lies on the media, so basically it's the fake media telling his fake lies, basically, if you think about it. I mean, people have to wake up and see what's going on. Look, we got a midterm election coming up. People need to wake up and realize we need to get this guy out of office. We need to get him out. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The guy's not good for this country, and I firmly believe if we keep this clown in there, we're going to be in a third world war, because he got all our friends as now our enemies, and our enemies as our friends. Who does that? How did that happen? It's
Okay,
amazing.
here's my thought. How did that make you feel? Because I know you experienced some things back in the day. I mean, I just know you experienced some things back in the day that we couldn't go in certain places. So how's that different to now, or what you like, or what the president trying to do? And his I would say his ways, or hating people, like things that he's been marking people about, and the Muslim and the blacks, just a whole bunch of things going on with him. So how do you feel, and what's the difference in it from back in the day to now?
Well, the only difference in it from back then to now is the fact that people are more aware of what's going on, pretty much. When he come up and say, I'm going to make America great again, basically he's talking to his so-called base, those individuals who are in these red states that's still stupid, Those are the people that he's talking to, trying to turn the clock backwards. You can't turn the clock back. You have too much progress going forward. You can't turn it back. You may want to. I understand your daddy, your granddad, whoever talked to you, told you it was a great idea to just hate people. It is not. This is America. This is a melting pot. Everybody here is an immigrant. There's no way in the world you can separate it. I mean, I understand you want to slow down what's coming in at the border. That's fine. Do it properly. There's a law for it. But don't try to treat people like they're slaves and separating kids from families. I mean, come on, man. I mean, are you serious? This is the same thing, and you guys are using this doggone thing from the Bible of Romans 13. That's the same thing they used to keep black in bondage for all those years. Keep blacks in bondage. And now we're trying to do the same thing again. It's almost like I don't understand. Everybody's walking in their sleep. You can't see what's going on? Seriously.
So how do you really feel like what's going on with the kids? Because when you look at the kids, the number of kids that in cages, what they call, and they say they're doing a lot of things. And the kids, I don't think the kids is okay, because when you start separating kids from their parents, they make them feel some type of way. They can have a long-term effect. What you think?
Sure will.
And and it's kind of bad. And like what your feeling on the Congress, how they should be handling this situation, and what can we do to help this situation?
Well, Congress need to get to work and get them off the hands. One of the biggest problems they got right now, you got a president who think that executive orders is the order of the day. Congress we are a nation of laws. They can enact laws to handle this situation, but for some reason they are afraid of this guy. I don't know why. I don't know how they got to be that way. But the guy he makes them, they all shake. You don't hear nothing coming from him. You know, the few people that's talking, it's like a detriment now. Okay, now I got to watch myself. I made a statement, so I got to look out. You know, it's bad. And those kids need to be with their families. And you figure now, you got a baby, you got an infant, 9 months old, going into a shelter. The kid don't know his mother. The mother don't know where the kid is. They're 2,000 miles away. The mother's on this end. How they gonna get together again? How the government gonna do it? How? How's it gonna happen? It's not. Believe that it's not gonna happen. You know, if anybody believes that these people are trying to get these folk together, they're crazy.
So what are your, next question. What are your view on what's going on with Maxine Waters? I realize that people say it's not, when she done that, she wasn't talking about violent. Like maybe it's not a good, maybe, like I said, I don't really know. Like, would you approach people? Maybe that wasn't a good idea, but still, we need to get our voices. We need to be heard. So I don't think she was talking about violence, but for some reason, I hear a lot of people, I've been watching a whole lot of things going on, what people saying about her or whatever, and I think it's wrong because, like you said, the head, to me, he been showing violence. He been marking people. He been showing a lot of things going on. So what's your view on what Maxine said?
Well, first of all, what Maxine Waters said was to just push back. Basically, make these people feel uncomfortable when they go into public places. That's all she was talking about. Now, if I am a guy who's on the other side and I want to make it appear like she said something different, I start spinning it my way. I want to make it seem like she was spewing violence out there. She was not talking about violence. But then, if you're stupid, you believe what these idiots are telling you, that she was talking about violence, and she was not talking about violence. All she was saying was, these people right here running around telling lies, and they're protecting this guy up there. So basically, when they go out in public, make them feel uncomfortable. She didn't say the first thing if I heard anybody, not one thing.
So who said something about violence? I'm just saying, who really talked about violence? And,
oh my God!
And his behavior been really bad.
Yeah.
So they talking about. I heard somebody, some guy was on CNN talking about they should lock her up and throw away the key.
Why?
So, I'm just saying, I hear different people.
If anybody needs to be locked up and throw away the key, it should be our president. I'm sorry, but it doesn't make sense. He's the guy that's spewing out the violence. He's the guy that said hit him in the head. He's the guy that said he could walk down and shoot somebody on Broad Street or whatever it is and never worry about it. He said knock somebody out.